There's a calmness. Yep.
Can the unthinkable happen?
Nah. No chance.
You know, I remember Kartik Tyagi defended
Defended
4
4.
runs
Yeah.
for Rajasthan.
Rajasthan Royals, correct.
Oh,
Oh.
gosh.
Is it a wide? Is it a wide?
I don't think so.
Give it.
Is it a wide? Yeah.
Give it.
Right.
You already had one question.
Exactly. You don't want more criticism coming your
Okay,
way.
that one
I
questionable
didn't make it do
decision.
it.
We're going to talk about it a little later.
At
That
length.
One questionable decision.
We have the receipts.
You have the receipts. One
Uh,
rule is whoever talks grabs the mic.
Oh, right.
No, I've handed it to you because celebratory moments there. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing anyone's thunder here.
Is it game? Is it game?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it will be.
yeah. Double taken.
It is. That's it.
There we go.
Is that RCB have not only won this game, they won this handsomely. It would have helped their run rate get slightly better, and which, by the way, is something that we had been saying, that they are best placed to qualify. Best placed, because doesn't matter what other teams do, if they win their last game, they will go through. The net run rate is so much better than Mumbai Indians.
Yep.
It'll take a lot for Mumbai Indians to cover up,
Yes.
provided RCB win their last game also. They won this one, just one remaining. So mathematically, they'll be best placed to qualify for the top 4,
Yep.
which also means a Lucknow Super Giants versus Royal Challengers Bangalore might just be a reality, which everyone was hoping for. But before that, it is the moment of the in-house RCB fan in Gargi. So how are you going to celebrate? The benchmark is very high,
Okay.
created
but
by
I'm
Shane
gonna
Dias.
Do it sitting.
You do it sitting?
Yeah, I'll do it sitting. I forgot about the mic.
Whatever, the benchmark is high. I mean, people will, you know, we're gonna put yours next to what Shane did, and then ask people to vote.
No,
You
I'm
want to
going
win that?
lose. Landslide win by Shane.
Yeah, but for that, then you have to put in a better effort.
I-
Yeah,
Siddharth
this is no
completed
competition, Abhi. This is.
this.
I'll prepare for the next match.
Prepare for the next match.
Yeah.
This may just be the last match you won.
No.
Celebrate like there's no tomorrow.
That's coming from a Delhi Capitals fan. He knows that.
I told you about Saturday already.
No, but because I'm optimistic about RCB's chances, I will prepare a dance for the next match.
It doesn't have to be a dance. Any celebration.
Anything,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah.
be a dialogue, it be real like content or whatever. Your celebration
Yeah.
to show your joy
Okay.
of what RCB has done. But as Harshit also points out, that there may be no tomorrow.
We don't need to go there.
So what happens in case there is no this thing? You don't get the chance to do the dance or whatever gig. Then
Just like RCB, the biggest what if. What if I had only celebrated? What if I had enjoyed the moment a lot more? What if? It'll just be another footnote in that what if.
It's
I mean, in all fairness, RCB's entire career is what ifs they could have won or this and that, but let's not troll them now. They've done well. It's a good win.
It's a good win.
yeah, it's a
By the way, not much difference in the net
tainted
run rate
win, I would
also.
say.
Would you?
what?
Yeah.
You
It's
taken
not-
Siddharth's spot today?
No, it's not clean.
Is this Harshit talking or Mohit?
It's not clean.
Good
It's
one.
not clean.
Should we troll Mohit for this or Harshit for
Well, no, I stand. I have video.
Harshit.
I have
This is
video
Harshit
evidence.
this
Yeah,
one.
this is Harshit.
No, we'll get to. Harshit has made a very big statement.
very,
He's saying
very
that
big.
this is a tainted win.
But
That
in RCB's defense, how is it they didn't ask for them to give a no ball or whatever?
You know what they
It's
say
the
in football?
umpire's
I'll tell you what they
fault,
say in
right?
football.
They did ask for a no ball review though. They did review it.
They're well within their rights.
Yeah, they were. Like why Lucknow Super Giants did it against Sunrisers Hyderabad.
But asking for a no ball review is there, right?
It is their right.
So
So
why-
I am agreeing with your thing.
It's shoddy decision
He said
making.
it. I didn't.
I'm
I'll
saying it's
focus
shoddy
on that.
decision making by the umpire.
What?
I'm saying it's shoddy decision making by the third umpire.
So nothing new then.
Mohit is so angry, he's sweating.
Rage, you're
So
in rage, Mohit.
He's in rage.
Forehead.
He is a Delhi fan who is already out of the race, but he calls this win a tainted win, and that is going to create a big debate. We will debate about
I'm
it
sure it's a
because he's
trend
talking
on-
about
Yeah.
he's talking about proof and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, resident RCB fan has done her gig, but slightly underwhelming compared to the benchmark that Shane has set. But she's promised that next win, if there is a next win, she will.
Yeah, if
Be
there
in-
was like a boundary hit or something on
Yeah,
the last
Virat-
one. No, that's not what
You
I
have won.
Yeah.
Virat has got 100.
Yeah.
Could you have asked for anything more?
I was very pumped up upstairs because those
Oh, but we can't see that on the live show what's upstairs, no?
Okay, next time I'll just.
The big
I'll
what if.
prepare
Another what if. Another what if.
I am telling you, it's the guilt.
It's like already the guilt.
It's the guilt of the tainted win. That's why she's not answering.
I mean, because she knows proof will
Mohit
emerge.
is informed.
We were collecting proof, evidence in front of her only, and she was like, no, why are we seeing it again? Why are we seeing it again?
I didn't do that.
That was Samya, another irresident RCB fan.
I also.
Today-
I told Shane ki.
It actually
being-
was.
Yeah, being
wrong
an
call.
RCB fan, I also that decision did not make a lot of sense. So
Stick to it when the proof emerges.
Sure.
Oh.
You agree with Mohit?
I mean, see, the.
Harshit.
No, this is Harshit who signed up for this.
Okay. Now look, it is within your rights to ask for a review. Okay. They took the review. Fact number 1. Fact number 2, third umpiring in particular when it comes to Sunrisers Hyderabad has been woeful.
Absolutely.
Fact
Yeah,
number 2.
yeah. No,
because
they've
the
been
Klassen no.
They've been unlucky that way.
No,
Previous
but
game.
that's got nothing to do with Sunrisers Hyderabad. You're making it sound as if at their home venue they get such umpire.
They have gotten 2 bad decisions.
But that's not their doing. No?
It's not their doing.
It's not like bilateral series where you're getting one umpire of your own at home venue. That's not.
no, nothing
This is
like
neutral umpires that are put by the IPL governing council or the
Yes.
BCCI.
Yes.
And they do. In fact, they've been at the wrong end of the stick.
They have been at the wrong end of the stick. Fact number 2.
Okay.
Okay. Fact number 3, is it unfair? No, it's not. You got the rub of the green going your way. So
Okay, we'll get to that a little later because I think in terms of our priority list of the rundown of how we're going to conduct the show, this cannot be the top discussion.
No.
Okay.
It has to start with an RCB win. In fact, it'll start with, this will be a run order that we'll follow. We'll start with Virat Kohli's 100.
Yeah.
Okay. Followed by RCB's win, followed by SRH, and then we get to the tainted win, as Harshit called it. First to Virat Kohli's 100, and I'm going to give my 2 bits on it. I think this is his 5th or 6th 100.
Sixth.
6th 100 in IPL, 4 in 2016, then 1 in 2019, and then 1 now, right?
Yep.
So 6. It stands, I think, one of the top 100s because, I mean, you could say 16 he was just on a
There.
different planet. Anything that he was touching was turning into gold. This because of the situation where he needed to qualify, must win games. Is he checking his Twitter right now or replying to WhatsApps or
Talking to Anushka.
maybe he's on the phone? We're just seeing visuals of that. Anyway, coming back to the point, one of the best 100s he's got, and I think, and correct me if you don't agree with me, or rather tell me if you agree with me. I think that he wanted, it's not just about 100, but he wanted to make a statement this 100. And that was pretty evident from the 2 deliveries that he faced. He did not listen to Gayatri's suggestions in the mid innings, where Gargi actually suggested to him that you bat the way you bat, which is the 120-30 strike rate, be the anchor at one end. Everyone else will do their job, which is Faf du Plessis, and we'll win it. He did not listen to it. He came first ball, okay, fine. By the way, first ball also, you see it again, moving out, more often than not, you shouldered arms to it. He played the drive along the ground, through the gap, 4 runs. Next ball, rising outside the off stump. He is never going to hit that shot. Never going to hit that shot. Hits that shot, uppish, but again, luckily for him, because that's not something that you can control, finds the gap. Okay, 4 runs there. Then we thought that he will be the Bhuvam of Lagan and tell himself, calm down. He does not calm down.
He does not, yeah.
He does not calm down, which tells me he came with an intention.
Yeah.
He came with an intention where not only did he want to play a match-winning inning, of course you can't plan for 100 or anything, but not only did he want to play a match-winning inning, he wanted to play with a very dominating strike rate, because as you know, just like with Hardik, it happened in that game, that criticism happened. It happened with RCB also in that one game where he got runs.
DC.
DC game, and people question that maybe they lost because he batted slowly. Since then, I have seen a conscious effort from him where he wants to bat in a particular way.
Yeah.
And I think today, he just was out there to give that statement, and boy was it a statement. Outstanding knock.
Yeah.
At 100, almost 160 strike rate, just did not slow down. If anyone ever had any complaints nearing a landmark, slowing down, forget a 50, reached the 100 with a 6.
Yeah.
If ever there was a statement, that was one. All of it, I think, one of the best
Yeah,
100s.
he has turned the tide. I will tell you why. Remember in 2022, similar ball in that LSG game, RCB LSG game, Dushmant Chamira, short wide ball, he hit it to point, out first ball, duck. Here, luckily, he had the right elevation, got it for a boundary. Flawless innings. I mean, whenever you look at it, 4 years it's been since he last hit that 100 against KKR, 2019.
Yeah.
4 years later, bigger the occasion with RCB needing to win this game and also the last. Bigger the game, bigger the player. So, Virat, you saw the last time he played such a big knock, Pakistan at MCG.
I was there.
He was there, and look at the way, see 12 fours, 4 sixes, 1 6 in particular, 103 meters. It was colossal. So, power hitting, check. Only slowing down for milestones, no. Dispelled by this knock today. Does he need to prove anything? Maybe, see, what was the criticism that we had in that game against DC? The run rate, the strike rate with which he was operating. Today he was presented with a truer pitch. It wasn't a sluggish pitch. On a true pitch with chasing. Let me add this one caveat in that, chasing. No one can, no one will ever come close to Virat Kohli. No one can ever will come close to him. It is only while batting first that he perhaps needs to readjust his template slightly. Slightly, not radically. But chasing, I'm sorry boss, no one can be better than Virat Kohli. In this era, period.
I agree. I think there's a reason we call him the chase master, because no one knows how to time or pace a chase better than this man. And truth be told, today we were right. He did come out playing a little uncharacteristically, but he also knew that this was a Sunrisers. There were two things I think which also worked in his favor, which I'm putting in as caveats, not to take anything away from the knock he played. One, I'm pretty sure the pitch eased out a little bit in the second innings, and that's again taking nothing away, because as I said, I do think that SRH batters didn't bat with the right application. Otherwise, they could have easily gotten above 200 this thing. What Kohli did, however, was look to put the pressure back on the SRH bowlers, who he knew were an inexperienced lot. And truth be told, again, we were saying it in the mid-innings that no matter what side they choose to go with in terms of the impact sub, are they going to bring in a spinner? Are they going to bring in a pacer? Either side is going to be short. Because their pacers were woeful today, and less said about the spinners, the better. Yeah. You can say in hindsight that, maybe you could have brought in a spinner, but then even the pacers were going for runs. So I think they had a wrong approach. Kohli knew that, and he wanted to shift the pressure right back onto them, onto SRH, which is why, what does he do? He attacks the one bowler who they would have been reliant on to get them an early wicket, Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Once he did that,
you knew he was in that zone.
Exactly.
What was that? That outswinger which he caressed that drive for. That was the zone. 2016, 2019. Look at all those hundreds. What was the one common thing in all those hundreds? Getting off to an aggressive start in the power play.
The power play was
and not just power play.
16.
What was the downslide of that? He would slow down the middle overs. That's what happened in 2023. Here, it didn't happen. That showed that he was in here to make a big statement like what you said. That's it. 100, 600 level with Chris Gale.
Aditya Mohanty has a question for you. Is it true that King eats haters for breakfast?
is haters a vegan option?
See, I have a problem.
Only then he can.
Yeah.
But he's not vegan.
He's not vegan. He's a veg.
Is it a vegetarian option?
Nah.
Correct.
See, Aditya Mohanty, your statement is problematic for one major word. And that is my problem with so-called RCB fans.
King.
Haters.
Acha.
Haters.
When did Aditya Mohanty, you've been harping on this for the past 2 weeks. When did I ever use the word hate for Virat Kohli? If criticism
is
amounts
equal to hatred,
then I'm sorry, boss, you are in the wrong country then. Because
Why wrong country?
then that means he is supposed to be intolerant. This defines intolerance.
So you're saying forget King. You're saying you're an RCB critic, not an RCB hater.
I'm not an RCB hater.
You're an RCB critic.
I don't hate
Anybody.
anybody.
Hate is too strong a word.
Too strong a word. If,
He dislikes them.
yeah, Aditya Mohanty, if you had used eats critics in
Yeah,
breakfast, then I would have accepted that statement entirely.
He
wholly.
dislikes, he accepted, he doesn't hate RCB, he dislikes them for various reasons.
That's fine. They're cross-border rivals. That's fine for him to dislike.
Yeah.
Who are red today? Who picked RCB
I-
to
in-
go in the top 4?
Yeah. If Aditya Mohanty,
Sweet hater. No, sweet dislike. No, hater, not
He's a
hater.
he
see,
dislikes them.
you have to understand the whole broader picture. Right from IPL 2023 at the very beginning, I put RCB as the top 4 team.
Yeah, you did.
Because I believe that this is the season that Kohli might once again perform his 2016 or 2019 like miracles. He could do that.
But for once, can you guys give me credit for telling you in advance that you're going to see the best of Virat Kohli tonight?
Yeah,
I also said that.
yeah,
You would.
yeah, she said, but he did too.
Yeah,
You
I
would,
predicted-
you're a big fan.
I predicted
He
a
did.
50, but he
And,
made it better.
Who else did? No, Sarthak did.
Sarthak
Mehraj,
did.
Yes.
oh, Mehraj picked Faf.
No,
He said Kohli.
Kohli and Anuj Rawat will go big.
Yeah.
Anuj Rawat wasn't needed in all fairness.
Okay, so we'll get to that a little later, but we're just finishing a round of Virat. I have spoken, Siddharth has, Shane has, Mohit will not because he has today decided this is
No,
a
no, no.
tinted. So he'll get.
I will actually, you should have allowed me to speak first because I have already, in a way, indicated what I will be saying towards the fag end of the show. Before I get called a hater, let's say by the end of, and there are 2-3 more people unfollowing me or blocking me on social media apps. Let me, in fact, you should have allowed me to speak first. But anyhow,
Sorry,
first to
now you go.
the resident RCB fan. Let's hear
No, but
her.
now you're getting a chance.
That's fine. I should
you missed that bus.
Yeah.
To quote Kevin De Bruyne, let me talk.
Let me talk. You go. I'll have the last word.
You're like the top 4 teams. Oh, I won't go first for qualification. You go. It's like that.
Virat Kohli.
Okay, yes. So, not a lot to say. I think his bat does the talking. But like Nikhil sir said, he did come with the intent to make a big statement tonight. And I think that's what it is about Virat Kohli, that hunger, that intent of never getting satisfied with what he has. What does he have to achieve more? He's got everything in the world, but he's still, the personality, that attitude.
It's just that we're talking IPL and he has everything in the world itself.
Like, he doesn't have an IPL trophy.
As
That's what he wants.
As a batter,
No, bacha.
yes, he's the king, and you completely threw me off my.
Yeah, he's a king.
Okay.
He's a king without a crown.
I want you. Okay, you raised that point. What does he want? So as they retorted, the two of them,
He needs,
IPL trophy.
Yeah.
The other thing, do you think, and we can throw open this to everyone on the floor, do you think that statement that I spoke about at the start has an end goal, and that end goal is that there is already talk that the Indian T20 team has moved away, and I know this for a fact that while the management may have moved away from the senior players, that is Virats and Rohits and KL Rahuls, but I know that they aren't ready to give up on this format, and that is their right?
Yeah.
I mean, selection is up to the selection committee, and it's up to them to make themselves available. Whether they get picked or not is up to the selection committee of the match, right? So that is the situation now. Virat, Rohit all want to play. There'll be a T20 World Cup next year. Majority of folks have said that no, let's just move on. We are moving on from here to become just follow on with this legacy. Now my question is, do you think the end goal for him with this statement is that do not count me out of that Indian team setup? Everyone who's thinking that we are playing an outdated template, or I'm an outdated template player, rethink that and give me my due, and I could be keeping in pace and bringing my experience and be part of that team. Do you think that's
Absolutely. Silencing critics is Virat Kohli's hobby.
that's on his mind?
Yeah, I mean, it would have a lot to do with what's going on inside the management. Because you kind of get a feeling that...
See, they were not selected. They were not selected. They made themselves available. After the
Yeah.
T20 World Cup, India has played a few T20 series. They were not selected.
I mean, of course, if it's your national team, of course, that's on the back of your mind.
It is. And
I don't think so. I don't think this is something riding on his mind, and I don't think he was really intending to send across a message today. Yes, that celebration spoke a lot, and can try and read, what that celebration would possibly mean to him. But I don't think, why? Because I think we've seen, this was the 13th innings from Virat Kohli that we saw. If he was trying to send across a message, it would have happened much more often. For one innings, the strike rate, if it's to read about 160, and the others, let's say other 12 innings, if on an average I'm saying, even if it's about 135, I don't think it is sending across a message. Had the sample size been 2, 3, 4 innings being played at a strike rate of 160, 170, then Virat Kohli, I would say, is sending across a message, and he's playing something which he doesn't really do, or the way that he doesn't really do. But having said that, I don't think Virat Kohli needs to send across any messages.
He is part of your T20 team?
Virat Kohli?
Indian T20 team?
For 24.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's the foremost thing on his mind. I think the foremost thing is getting that IPL monkey off his back. But I also do remember saying that if you had to move beyond the quote-unquote senior players, the one player I wouldn't have moved on from was him. Because he was the only one at least showing the ability to get you runs on a consistent basis at the top of the order. And in fact, I think if you were playing with one anchor, it's fine. The Indian team's problem was you had 3 anchors at the top of the order. So you can play with one still. I don't think he's out of the...
Do you still have, will you still have one anchor? Because what you're seeing with the current Indian T20 team, Hardik's also kind of playing that anchor role.
That's another problem.
सुबह ready होने का सोचो, दोपहर में meeting का सोचो.
But I still want to move past him, and I don't think he's done yet. I think he's probably the one player who, if you're talking about getting a recall to the T20 team, put himself in the best position. Because he's got the all-important currency.
Is he part of the 2024 T20 team for you?
At the moment, no, but 2024 is a long time away still.
Yeah, I mean, see, now, as I said, this IPL of 2023 shouldn't be considered that much important. Why? It's an ODI World Cup year. After this, you're only going to play potentially 1 or 2 T20 series after the IPL ends.
No. So my point is that is okay. After the ODI World Cup is done,
Yeah.
you will look forward to a T20. Now, is he part of that setup for you or not?
From day one, we have been arguing that yes, Virat Kohli, irrespective of whatever happens, because of the form that he's shown, he will be there. In 2024, I will put him there as...
You will put him?
Yes.
Because, I just read recently, of course, the Indian team management clearly showed you that they moved away from all of them. And I think Shane makes a valid point that if you were looking at any one senior who could still continue, Virat has to be on top of that list because he still showed that he is, the best out there. Won you a very crucial game versus Pakistan at the T20 World Cup. So, yeah, maybe yes. But I'm saying the other indicator came, Ravi Shastri recently said that I don't think that they're going to go back to the seniors. The management's pretty much made up their mind and they're going the 2007 way. Where if you remember at that time also you had the Sachin Tendulkars, the Rahul Dravids and all of that. But there was for different reasons. Those seniors themselves didn't want to go for the T20.
Yeah.
Well, whichever way it happened, what happened was a very young team was sent, right, of youngster. And Ravi Shastri, and why his word is important, because he's been recently part of that setup. So he knows what's happening. So he says, I see the management going that way, where they are going to be going with youngsters. So they're going the 2007 way, which is an indicator that they may have moved beyond all the senior players, including Virat. That's just an indicator. But of course, this is our opinion. We all free to disagree. Your thing, is he part of your T20 setup?
Absolutely. Right? How do you move past a player? And this is not even remove the name from it, remove the labels, everything. How do you move past a player at his age is fitter than most of the majority of the younger players?
No, but fitness is not his criticism.
Yeah.
So the criticism or whatever, anyone who looked at it critically, again, by the way, a good point that we made, not everything when you criticize somebody you're a hater, right? It's I can't think of a single player. That way we'd be haters of all players. I can't think of a single player that we have not scrutinized, because that's what our job is, right? To look at it closely. The merits and demerits, we have to see them equally when we do it quite often. So when you're looking at someone, you're just doing the checks and balances. What are the positives and negatives? So yeah, fitness is not an issue with Virat.
I was getting to somewhere is at his age, even though he's a senior, he's established himself. It's the intent that he's showing that sets him apart from the rest of the seniors. It's the want of, wanting to be in the setup still.
No, but see, all of that is not under question. intent, nobody has ever questioned that he doesn't give his 100%. I don't think anyone's ever questioned that. You can see with the kind of commitment. Fitness, nobody's ever questioned. He's fitter than most of the young. As I said, the only criticism or the only reason that there were even doubts raised about a proven performer, dare I say the best white ball player of his generation, was just that the template of T20 cricket that he was playing had become outdated. So that is the issue. You just look at that, concentrate on that and tell me, is that outdated or not? Or do you think, no, that's good enough to be part of in this?
And let me just add one more caveat in this, brutally honest. This is 100 that he's got. The rest of the 650s that he's got, barring one or two, the rest have not lived up to the modern style T20 template. Let us be very honest about it.
Okay, now let's hear her.
I mean, yes, he has been a bit slow, and as T20 cricket revolutionizes, I think it is getting a Virat Kohli template is getting a bit out of date, not so much.
But what do you reckon?
Then if you build a team, which is also wrong, you can't build a team around a single person, but if you find him, if you coordinate, combine a good enough team that can accelerate at the top and then have someone like a Virat Kohli, I think you've got a perfect team in there.
Yeah, I mean, so if you ask me, I would be tempted to look at Virat Kohli for the Indian team. And I'll tell you why. Is because whenever you go with a lot of youngsters, sometime what happens when you take a absolutely young team, that you fall short on experience. There's no harm going with someone as experienced as Virat. Again, you look at the English model, it's not based on all youngsters. They're not all youngsters in that English team, right? They have taken experienced guys like the Butlers or the Ben Stokes of the world or a Bairstow. They're all experienced players who've played enough cricket. So they're going with that kind of a template, and experience helps. As by the way, T20 has also shown you, as MS Dhoni keeps showing you again and again, that age is not the criteria. So that is one thing. Now, does he play to that template? I guess every team can do with a 120-30 strike rate batsman. They cannot be all batsmen batting the same way. And every team will require, and I'm going now looking at all other teams, I can't think of a single T20 team that will not have a batsman like that. I remember Ben Stokes playing very differently Malan playing very differently at the T20 World Cup.
Even the final, the whole of the England squad.
Final, that Sri Lanka game, various other games. Of course, the conditions were very different. Conditions that you will encounter in flat pitches will be very different. But I think there could be a spot where you could, maybe he needs to realign himself a bit, change his game slightly compared to how he was playing earlier. But I think that you could still make do with a Virat Kohli in that team, because also if you look at who are the other guys that you're are going to be looking at in that middle order, is there anyone who's like really standing out, like he's batting number 3, right, in
the Indian team.
T20 cricket. So who are the other number 3s that, I don't know, Hardik, but Hardik can even bat 4, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
Who else is there? There was a Shreyas Iyer
Yes.
that you're looking at. I don't know whether that's someone that you're going with. You tried someone like a Rahul Tripathi to come in, hopefully out of form. You got a Deepak Hooda, hopefully out of form. You know, then you're looking at a few good, like there was a Sanju Samson. Yeah, but I'd love to compare Sanju Samson's record with Virat Kohli's record this season in terms of the number of runs and, you know, average and then strike rate. You just can't see the strike rate and not look at the total runs a player is getting. So that's one player. Who could be the other middle order? Because the other ones are openers like Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Ruturaj Gaikwad or a Shubman Gill or even an Ishan Kishan. Whatever. They're openers, they're fighting with that. Maybe one can come down to number 3.
Surya is 4.
Yeah.
That is your bona fide. But then yet again in this IPL, same problem as previous IPLs.
Mohit is angry you're not allowing him to speak. He might just use the bat.
No, nothing like that.
The problem is that you're producing too many openers yet again.
I mean, that isn't really anyone's fault.
It isn't any, but then see, that shows that you're not, your middle order building, if you have to do, that's the major consensus. That is why you cannot look beyond a Virat. 2007 also, you had a mix of experience and youth. You had Gambhir, you had Yuvraj, you had Sehwag, all had played about 6-7 years of experience. So it wasn't an entirely raw team that went to South Africa. It was a mixture of youth and experience. Because you don't have any suitable candidate to take over the middle order thing, that's why you will persist with Virat until 2024.
Okay. We'll try and come back to the Virat, but before Harshit leaves to do the television thing, we will get to his favorite subject.
Yes.
He has called this win a tainted win. Do we have the images, the stills, and all of that? Huh?
We do.
Do we? Okay. So breaking news. As we celebrate RCB's victory and say that they are just now effectively one win away from a playoff spot, Harshit, our colleague, our panelist, also goes by the name of Mohit, has raised serious doubts about this win, calling it a tainted win. So Harshit, first explain, why do you say that?
I say that because of course, see, you'll see they were all, both the openers were going very strong, and yes, they took RCB into a position from where losing the game was something which was very unlikely. But then this is a moment that I want to be talking about, and it happened in the 9th over. Two deliveries in particular that I want to be talking about, and this isn't against, let's say, RCB. This has to do about the umpiring standards that we've seen so far in this particular edition of the tournament, and that brings into question the use of technology, the use of replays, and all of that. First, I want you guys to have a look at this moment. This is ball number 8.4. So this is the 9th over, the 4th ball being bowled, and this is when Faf du Plessis was caught in the deep by Mayank Dagar, if I'm wrong.
Mayank Dagar.
A superb catch given out by the on-field umpire. What happens seconds later though is RCB decide to review it. Now, just to give you guys a little more context, what happens, and you've seen this visual now, I have my mind made as to whether this is a legitimate ball or not. For me, the answer is it is perfectly a legitimate ball. This, by the way, was taken to third umpire, who then goes ahead and reverses the decision, calls it a no ball. Why though? There is, let's give you a little more context over here. Let's show you the other screen grab which we have from ball, which was the second ball of the 9th over. So 8.2. Let's bring you that visual now. Okay, so this, okay, since we, so we're still on 8.4 by the way, and that moment, since we're talking about the on-field umpires, the gesture that was made by the umpire, which was on square leg, the umpire gestured, keep that this is what the gesture was. The gesture was that it was not above the head. This is what the gesture was, and by the way, given the footage that we got, Sarthak, can we come to the visual, that one, in which the umpire is visible?
No, not that.
The other one. No, not this one either. Yes. If you can just zoom into the umpire. So this is what we saw, the umpire gesture to the umpire that the ball, this is the square leg umpire by the way, gesturing, if that is visible to you guys, this is the umpire gesturing that the ball wasn't above the head. So, okay, so this is 8.4 that we're talking about, okay, and the umpire on the field had not given it a no ball.
This is 8.2 rather, not 8.4.
8.2. So this is 8.2, and this is what happens over here is 8%. From 8.4, let's talk about 8.2 now. Virat Kohli was the man on strike. He advances a bit and then he pulls the ball. Yes, it is high, no questions about that, but then this is the gesture from the umpire. So no bouncer being gestured from the main umpire over there. And we went through the footage, and I am only going by footage which was given, which was shared by the TV broadcaster. I'm not too sure if that actual gesture was indeed made. So, and we're going through a couple of commentary as well, that we've tried on other sources. So no mention of one for the over or a head high no ball being made, or one for the over being made, as Shane just said. And this is what the umpire on the sideline had said, that okay, this was low. So no gesture being made. But then what happens? Faf du Plessis gets caught in the deep. RCB well within their rights to question that. The decision is then left to the third umpire, who then judges this as a no ball, and then the decision is overturned. In the context of the match, still early, it happened in the 9th over, could have been her match defining instance. But what happens then? Faf and Kohli build on well within their rights, nothing against RCB. But what this does tell you about the way the game's played is, and I'll draw a parallel, let's say, with football over here. What happens in football also is, and the big teams out there, let's say a Real Madrid, a Manchester United, a Barcelona, teams often get criticized. I'll add Chelsea also over there because Shane had a frown on his face. I didn't name Chelsea. Anyhow, what happens on many occasions in football also is teams and big teams get criticized for decisions going their way.
So you think it's happening in IPL?
Yes,
Teams are getting decisions.
exactly. I feel that this is
I'm not sure about that.
This is an instance of
one or two instances don't do
Whatever.
that. And in that
And
football, it's a different example because in one game there are some 15,
no,
20
but I will.
decisions
So,
taken by
but why? Because we know what is at stake. You can go ahead and call this a 50-50, but even then,
okay.
even then, why is it that it's favoring a bigger team in comparison?
Okay,
let's
you
say.
made your point. Let's hear everyone else.
Okay, so I had also gone over this footage and I'll do a TLDR for him, which means too long didn't read. Sum it up in this thing. We were looking for a second short ball or a first short ball because according to the rules, the only way that it can be called a no ball is if there's already been a 1 for the over signaled. The only ball, and we went through the first 3 balls before the 4th, which was a short ball, was the second ball of the over. And even there, very clearly, the umpire can be seen. If you look minutely on the footage, he's doing this, which means not of this thing. And there was no signal made by the main umpire, which means that second or the purported second wide or second bouncer wasn't the second bouncer, which means it should not have been a no ball. And the key part is, I understand that, in the review also, I was also thinking, I'm like, I don't recall a single wide or a bouncer before this. So how can they be giving this a no ball? It was a puzzling decision, and I don't think it's a case of the decision favoring anyone, because I think even with SRH, the last time it happened, no disrespect, it was against Rajasthan Royals, so it's not like it's an MI or
Lucknow
CSK.
Super Gents. That game.
Again, even more so, brand new franchise. So it's
So
not
yeah,
happening.
that I don't buy.
Yeah.
But the point that the two of you have made is that this is a decision that the third umpire got wrong.
He got
and
it wrong.
SRH has got 2 such decisions this IPL.
Correct.
Right? Which have gone against them. One was a catch also, right? No, that was...
That was a no ball.
That was a no ball.
No ball.
there
Why?
was a
Avesh Khan.
Catch was which team?
That was
RCB got it in their favor.
Padikal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I still don't buy it. Anybody else wants to speak on that?
It's yet again a classic case of either third umpire misjudgment, which is common in the IPL. But yeah, favoring a bigger team, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I think it's just the inconsistencies that making us think that way. I don't think it's as if the umpires are favoring a team or so. But an interesting take on this has already been taken by the DC owner, Parth Jindal, where he tweeted after the match the Ishant Sharma delivery to Liam
Livingston.
Yeah, and he pointed out that an identical delivery was bowled to Shafali Verma in the Women's Premier League, and she had gotten out to it, and that was given an out, while this same delivery was given not out to a no ball to Ishant Sharma. So I think there are a lot of inconsistencies with umpiring this year.
Yeah, I think what happens with those waist high no balls is also like they look at the posture, where you're standing straight, and interpretation of each umpire is very different. Yeah, I can see that. But the interpretation of each umpire is different. Some will take it as no, this is the regular batting position, while someone might think that no, he's crouching down a bit. So I guess that's where the human element also comes into play. So that's inconsistency. You'll have to find a way to have it consistent. But in sport that will happen. Even with football, they've got VAR, where they try to find a way to get consistency with technology. But even then, every time it's this time you'll say it's a penalty, but the other time it shouldn't be. I don't think, but you have to allow that sort of leeway in sport, right? It will always happen.
Yeah.
My only take on this is SRH have only themselves to blame. Had they taken that catch of Faf du Plessis right much earlier than this, I think it happened before this incident.
Yeah.
That catch was dropped by
It was Glenn Phillips in the
Glenn
power
Phillips, correct.
Yeah.
Glenn Phillips dropped that catch.
Yep.
If he had taken that catch, Faf du Plessis would have been out. Still, maybe RCB would have still won it. You
Yeah.
never know. But if you wanted to have a breakthrough, you could have won it with that breakthrough. They should have done that. Now, no point crying over
See,
spilled milk.
technology is being held hostage by human judgment. At the end of the day, when you're seeing technology is 100% can't happen. Why do you think the umpire's call has come in? Umpire's call cannot be abolished because you need a small percentage of human judgment in this. Hitting, not hitting, it depends upon an equation in the technology. Same here, no ball, what is the judgment based on? It depends on your stance, right? For me, that stance might be a no ball, but for you, it might not
But
be a no
even
ball.
then, what we saw, that could at best have been first for the over. How can that be given a no ball?
But
No,
again,
that's an error that they've made.
That's
So,
a-
so it ended up changing the course of the match. So you can't say
as I
because
said, you could have
no,
got
but
that catch.
just because Fakhar Zaman was dropped the first time and let's say the second time and India dropped the catch, that doesn't mean okay you should have got the first catch and
But
it's
I'm
not. It doesn't
saying
work that way.
No, what we're saying is that it's not the first time it's happened, right? These things will keep.
No, but
happening.
this is blatant in the sense that okay, you have the video evidence as well. We went through footage and we saw no gesture being made or the first bouncer for the over wasn't signaled. This should have been that first one and then Faf du Plessis is out. It is an error.
But nothing's going to happen, right? It won't change the result.
The problem is, see, looking at the footage tells you that Faf got it near eye level, right? It wasn't way over the head.
Exactly.
Now that is a different debate altogether in the interpretation.
And that's where subjectivity comes into place. That let's be fair, because when I was looking at it first, I'm like, yeah, that did seem a bit high. But then on the replay, watching the point of impact, I'm like, no, that's
I'll
pretty
tell
much
you
high
what,
level.
look at the ball on which Virat Kohli got dismissed ultimately.
That's why he reviewed it.
Then
He reviewed it, but the umpire said, okay, it's
Then?
fine.
that's what. So you have inconsistency in the same match, with a gap of about 10 overs.
The problem here is that the umpiring standards are poor. Simple.
It is.
That's
Simple
what it
as.
is. That's simple as that.
You have allowed, the problem here is yet again that judgment. Where do you call the line on the judgment?
Yeah.
It cannot be quantified, it cannot be written down because judgment is a very subjective thing. It varies from person to person, vision to vision, interpretation to interpretation.
Yeah.
So you are going to get these errors. That is why the DRS, whatever you look at it, the umpire's call, it was necessary. That is the main point.
So now, because a lot of people have sent me WhatsApp messaging and all that he has used the word tainted, remove him from the show. So I'm going to remove him. Go quickly.
Mohit is out, but Harshit
Mohit,
stays.
go
right?
out of the show. Mohit is going out. We're moving on from this subject. We're moving on from this subject to now what SRH did. Now, kudos to Royal Challengers Bangalore, but I'll touch upon that subject that we spoke in the mid-innings. Or was it the start of the match where we spoke about
Both.
Mid-inning.
mid and start, right? So the point is 186 on this track was a competitive total. More often than not, RCB would have struggled to have chased this down, or any other team for that matter. But the one, and taking nothing away from RCB, outstanding batting. We've already praised Virat Kohli for his batting. Faf du Plessis, what do I even say? He's been so good this IPL. He's clearly been the best batsman. I have no doubts in saying that. The best batsman this IPL. And once again, they were brilliant. Yes, there was one call that we spoke about, maybe, went against them. There was that drop catch, but that's all part of the game. The batting was outstanding. Yeah. But one thing that I cannot forgive Sunrisers Hyderabad for is not playing the best bowling attack. Clearly, Karthik Tyagi totally cold this season, barely played a game or two. Clearly, Abhishek Sharma is not the bowler to bowl 3 overs. You know it, you've seen him get hammered in the previous game. Nitish Reddy, first game this season, you play him in this game. Mayank Dagar also, completely untested. Glenn Phillips is best and all-rounder. I've named just 5 bowlers right now. Apart from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and T. Natarajan, none of them make their top bowling lineup. And just as it turns out, the 2 top bowlers have bowled their quota of 4 overs.
Yeah.
Which means the best bowler in Mayank Markande did not play this particular game. They would have looked at, they had a few foreigners they could have looked at in Fazal Haq Farooqi or better than Marco Jansen, who has been good for them. They did all of these experiments, and I understand why they did it. We spoke about it earlier, that they are out of the playoff race and they wanted to just test the bench going forward, who they want to keep, who they don't want to keep. They've done it. But have they done disservice? Have they been unfair by playing not their full strength team? Delhi didn't do it. Delhi played their full strength team. and competed, because other teams will say that listen, we also needed to beat SRH and we beat them when they played their best batting and their best bowling lineup. RCB on the other hand have played the best batting lineup of SRH, yes, but not the best bowling lineup. Won't other teams sitting and watching this game be aggrieved that why is this happening and is it not unfair? I think if I am any of these teams, Kolkata, Rajasthan, Mumbai Indians, whoever, Punjab, whoever I am not happy with this. I'm not happy. I'm going to speak to IPL Governing Council to look at a way to fix that. We'll discuss of the ways also that can be fair. But I think this is unfair. I would love to know everyone's opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, I understand doing a little bit of experimentation here or there, but this is a whole new bowling lineup.
Yeah.
You're playing with of your three best, not even three, because if you look at who the best bowlers are, if I had to just pick Bhuvi, Natarajan, Jensen, Markande, these four have to be there.
Yep.
Your fifth and sixth can come from maybe Makram coming in, or your potentially even Umran, really. I understand current form and this and that, but we know his potential. He should be there. So this is not even a half strength bowling lineup of SRH. And essentially when I saw that bowling lineup, I'm like, man, they need 200. Otherwise there's no chance. And truth be told, even with 200, there's no guarantee they would have won anyway. Not with the kind of form.
Is it unfair on other teams?
Yes, 100%. I feel aggrieved.
Yeah.
I was really reliant on SRH to do a little bit of a favor. No problem. I mean, we beat SRH when they were full strength.
Exactly.
Many teams beat SRH when they were playing a full strength 11.
But again, it's a very problematic situation. Why? Because look
First
at
answer the question.
it is not unfair.
Not unfair.
Not
Now
unfair
explain.
because for two reasons. Even with a full strength Sunrisers Hyderabad team, full strength, like the four bowlers that you mentioned, where are SRH at the bottom? It has been inconsistency in all the departments.
No, but no, Siddharth, they have won games also, na? That's why they are on 8 points.
Yeah.
So Delhi also, then that way there shouldn't have been a match between Delhi and Punjab because Delhi have been woefully out. So give Punjab a walkover. It doesn't happen. You have to play the game and win. And more often than not, Punjab would have beaten Delhi, but it wasn't to be. What I'm saying, the least you expect is play the best team. And I'm agreeing with you that let's say SRH did play their best team, RCB would have still won.
Yeah.
In the form that Faf and Virat were, they would have still won. Agreed on that. But I'm saying, why would you do this? Why would you then make it any easier? I'm saying, in any situation, imagine one of those bowlers that were playing got the 2 wickets early. We know that they rely on KGF. Those two had fallen early. Things could have been different, right?
The problem,
Play the best game.
See, you're talking about a DC PBKS parallel. Punjab Kings did more harm to themselves than DC in that game.
That is fair.
But again, so that can't be the parallel in this
Imagine
case.
if Delhi in that game, David Warner got a lot of runs and
Prithvi Shaw
got a lot of runs. Who were the bowlers in that game? Mukesh played.
Mukesh played, Ishant
played.
Nokia
Ishant
played. Exactly. See,
Kuldeep played.
Nokia was available. Kuldeep was. All of them played. Imagine if they had dropped all of that, the guys who were doing well, and played some other lineup.
Yeah, and also-
wouldn't Punjab have chased it down?
100%.
But again, Delhi have used 23 out of the 25 players that's
But they
there.
settled in. I'm saying they settled in on their bet. Na? They were not
No.
getting their best bowling lineup earlier, so that's why they were struggling. Anrik Nokia went. As soon as he came back, they played him. Na? Ishant, they introduced him much later. Was looking good. They played him. Kuldeep is their best spinner. They played him.
Khalil.
I'm saying exactly. They are playing their best team. They could have still lost. SRH also could have still lost. I'm saying, why would you not play the best team? Or see, I'm saying if I'm KKR, I'm Rajesh Sarwada. I'm not in any way, bribing SRH to win. I'm not doing it. I am just saying, please, whatever your potential is, please play to potential. That's what at least I expect. If that potential is not good enough to beat RCB, so be it. And please play with your best. Or simply put, please put your best foot forward. That's all I want. If you lose, you lose.
But again, if this same inexperienced bowling lineup that you got, they took you to the last over.
Oh, come
That's what I'm trying to say. If imagine the experienced bowling lineup would have been there.
Still would it have made a
I don't
difference?
think, I
No,
don't think
it
they
would have
took
been
anyone
Nah,
to the
nah.
last over. RCB had the chase well in the bag,
Yeah.
and they took their foot off the gas at the end. It wasn't a case of taking it to the last over.
So
Yeah,
again,
I think-
it wouldn't have made a difference.
No, it would have made a difference. Bilkul. Arey, yaar, come on.
I'm saying even if it didn't make the difference, why did you not play the right team?
Exactly.
The question here being, did SRH give up at the last moment? And and could have been like, let's try this, let's try
5
who,
changes.
let's try who does well for the next season. Let's see who we can bring in. Why do that when you know RCB is a batting heavy team, when you have the leeway of choosing a batting 11, a bowling 11, you have the time and the options to change your team. I mean, come on.
But it doesn't make any sense.
How?
We are all looking at it in hindsight.
No, we said it before the game started.
Yeah?
But again,
Before the game started.
supposing if
Not hindsight.
SRH should have won this, even with this bowling lineup.
But that would have been a minor miracle. But that doesn't take. But
Okay, I'll give you a parallel. 2020, when CSK got knocked out, a lot of people were saying, oh, play the youngsters, this, that. Dhoni maybe gave 1 or 2 youngsters a chance, and that included a Rituraj, who, by the way, most people were saying he should have been playing from the start.
Yeah.
You were not going to tear up the entire template. Then, by that logic, any team
See.
that can get to 14 points should also start turning in games. Oh, we can get to 14
Again,
points. We're away from 16.
I am telling you, can I make it? If there was something at stake, I'm just saying. Let me just reverse. Let's say SRH was still in contention for the top 4 spot. Was this the bowling attack they would have played?
Not a chance.
No chance.
No
in hell.
chance.
Then that's what my point is. Then
But
you're
they
being
are not
unfair
in
to other-
contention.
But
That
doesn't
is
mean
my
that
point.
doesn't mean you do this.
See,
That is my
the,
point.
the
That is my
2020
point.
parallel of CSK is wrong. Why? Rituraj couldn't have played the first half because he got COVID.
COVID, yeah, but
then
when he was
Dhoni
out-
played Monu Kumar. He played all the other
Baba, you
youngsters
get
for
his
4 games.
Sentiment.
I get the
Yes,
sentiment.
first
I'm
half.
not going at
What he was saying,
technicalities.
to which Dhoni said that he didn't see any
Fire in the
confidence in
belly.
him or the
Yeah,
fire in the belly.
fire in the belly.
That's different. But the point is, you just accepted. Had they been in the playoff race, they would have not played this bowling, right?
Of
So
course.
that means they're not putting their best foot forward. Is what I'm saying. Of course, if they had played their best bowling lineup, and you asked me before the game. By the way, it's not hindsight. We said it when that thing was decided. We raised this point then.
Yeah.
Even then, if you had asked me if they played their best 11, you would ask me who are you favoring to win.
RCB.
I would have said RCB. In fact, go back 2 days when we did a round here and asked what I said. Mathematically, looking at all the thing, RCB are the favorite to make it the top
Yes.
16, right?
Yes.
Because why did I say that? Because they are playing the teams that they are, right? It's only after that did we reach this conclusion. So I would have anyway picked RCB, even if SRH played the best game. But I'm just saying you are not putting your best foot forward. It's like this, right? I'm just trying to tell you, like it's like a race, okay? It's a relay race or whatever, and there are one team which is completely out, but you're waiting for your qualification, and the other team needs to finish in the top 3, and one of those guys who are run at 80% of their speed. Won't I be upset? He'll say no, but you know what? In the heats that guy was faster, so I ran at 80%. I'll say no. You never know. This race you could have finished ahead, and if you had finished ahead, you would have finished outside top 3. I would have qualified. Why did you run at 100%? You run at 100%. Yes, you still lose, and that guy finishes top 3. So be it. But do not perform in that sense to the optimum level that you can.
But
It's
again,
also a disservice to the fans. You're
Yeah.
playing at home and
Exactly.
you sent out this team. I'm sorry, if I was
This
an
is
SRH
not-
fan,
Yeah.
I would be mad if KKR, and see, knowing now with this result, KKR are all but out. Again, mathematically very small, but tomorrow if I see them make 5 or 6 changes, saying, oh, because we're out, let's just play the kids. No, I would be mad. I'd be like, at least win for pride. You're playing a sport. Win for pride, if nothing else.
but the problem is with Sunrisers Hyderabad. The problem has been even your best 11 has not been the best.
But even then, play your best.
You always had glaring weaknesses in their bowling departments, be it spin or be it pace.
Who is
They
denying that,
corrected it.
Siddharth? But you're not playing your best bowling lineup. That's the problem.
If the best 11 is not doing well, we would have seen these changes way before.
Yes.
We did not.
No, but he answered the question. When I said if they were in the playoff race, would you have played it? No.
No.
That-
you
it's a
But
simple
that's
answer.
the problem. They're not in the
But
playoff
that's
race.
the problem.
Yeah.
So you need, which is why I'm saying you need to find a system to ensure that teams have something to gain even at the end. Right now they have nothing to gain, and which is why I proposed that idea at that time in a mid show, that ensure that there is a prize money. Right now the prize money is only for 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Yes.
In descending order, the one at the top gets
Yeah.
the maximum and then less and less reduces. But I'm saying do it for the top 9 teams. The one that finishes at the bottom gets nothing, but the top 9 gets something. 9, the least, of course, won the most. So then, if I'm SRH, my at least some motivation is I don't want to finish with no prize money at 10. Let me go past Delhi Capital,
Delhi
be
Capital,
9,
yeah.
and that will give me whatever 5 crore, right? Whatever is the sum for 9th place finish. I'm going for that.
Assuming you have a draft system in the near future, what happens normally is that you can then assign a little bit of a thing there also. say if you finish somewhere here, top 4, 5, you get some sort of an advantage in the draft.
Whichever way.
Whichever way.
Whichever.
Because
Some incentive.
yes, some
is what I'm
incentive.
saying.
Some incentive. Say you get to the first draft pick. Normally, what happens in American sport leagues, which is of course what IPL is.
That's the
modern-
opposite. You
yes,
finish last.
Yes. But what that happens is then is that it will become worse because a lot of teams throw matches to
Yeah.
get the first draft pick.
Yes.
So then don't do that. Keep it merit based and say, you know what, if you finish fifth, then there's some sort of a thing. You get the first young player. If you're the top team, you get the first foreign player, the first Indian player, whatever.
Yeah.
Let there be some incentive to ensure that teams actually put their best foot forward. Again, if realistically a sport like Formula One has always been about 2 teams at the top,
Yeah.
sometimes 1 team. But why is it that teams that are in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th are competing hard against the team ahead of them? They're competing against someone, na? Because they want to finish 9th. Because finishing 9th means $30 or $40 million more in your budget.
Exactly.
It's important.
Which is what you need to do in IPL. I sincerely feel, because then in all IPL seasons, when there will be few teams that are out and are going to play 1 or 2 important games, they will play with the best of their ability. I'm not saying that they go there to lose. SRH did not come there to lose, not at all. They had come to win. But just that they could afford that leeway. They said, okay, let's try something new. Because see, win or lose, it's not that we're going to, make any difference to us. We're not qualifying for the playoff. So let's look at these young kids, how they perform. The next season we can decide whether we keep them or let them go. That's their motive. They came out to do that. So I understand their idea behind this. But then that is some way being unfair to a few other teams where they would have wanted SRH to play probably. And I'm saying, think of it as a fan. Think if your club was in a situation where you needed RCB to lose today, you would have been upset with SRH.
Or if, your team was out of the race and you're playing half a changed team, even then you'd be mad saying, what is the point? At least win the last game, go out on a high, play for pride, play for the badge, play for your own spot in the team. Anything. Here this is nothing. It's a clear this thing of you have surrendered the match. We'll try out the kids.
Yep. That is true.
I don't know. You are expecting way too much from this Sunrisers Hyderabad team.
No, I'm not.
I'm not. I would have picked them to lose anyway. I told you that.
Yeah. So that's why it's. The fact is, teams are in this position right from the very beginning. Sunrisers have been at the bottom for a majority of the
They kept playing
IPL.
the best bowling attack. They did not in this game.
I don't know what is their best bowling attack, considering that they are at the
We
bottom.
know it.
Jansen.
Is Mayank Markande not part of the best bowling attack?
It is.
Then isn't Jansen part of the best bowling attack?
Jansen, Bhuvi, Natarajan, Markande, these 4 have to be there.
Yeah. Simple. They were not.
But even when they were there, they still lost the season.
Correct. They could have still lost.
That's
We're
the
just-
thing.
Questions.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll keep going around in circles.
Circles, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Vishal Panchal from the USA says, I wanted RCB to win since it keeps the tournament exciting. Klaasen played exceptional knock. Wish he had support. I wish Umran and Mayank had played. Yes. Okay, that brings me to an interesting point. All your points agree to. So it's not a question, it's a statement which we agree to. But on Umran, I did read that statement that Aiden Markram said.
Yeah.
And he said that, yes, he's an X-factor bowler. But what's happening behind the scenes, I don't know. I found that very interesting. Now that could mean multiple things. That could mean multiple things as in his selection is happening behind the scenes, which I don't know as captain. One, that could mean behind the scenes he's not been at his best behavior behind the scenes or not putting in the hard yards. So maybe that's why he's not playing. Whatever it is, it's open to interpretation. But it does somewhere raise doubts about why Umran Malik is not playing. It's not as simple as not selecting him on form, which was told to us by Brian Lara to the media. It's clearly not. It has something to do behind the scenes. As I said, behind the scenes could be something as simple as management has decided not to play him because captain said he has no idea. Or behind the scenes could mean that maybe they're not happy with his work rate behind the scenes and so he's not playing.
Yep.
And that's worrisome. I'm saying it at an India level because he was that one guy you're going to be looking forward to. He needs to be handled with care, rare ability.
Yeah.
I know he's not been in great form, but how do you ensure that you bring the best out of him? This is something that we say quite often about Prithvi Shaw as well.
Yeah.
So maybe need to find a way.
No, it's also concerning for a franchise like SRH because after a point, how many players do you point the finger at saying we had a falling out with them? It's a thing with that franchise. they've binned captains on a pretty consistent basis. So really, Umran Malik is nobody.
It's a close fight, Punjab and
Oh yeah.
SRH.
I mean,
In Punjab's cases, they've had captains want to leave also. So it's actually
see, SRH have gone to Punjab's situation after 2021.
yeah. Correct.
Till 2020, 2021, they had a solid core. But then you chose to disrespect a captain who
Won your IPL.
won you an IPL title, the sight of David Warner in the stands in 2021. It was the saddest thing that I've ever seen in the IPL. Who treats their IPL winning captain in this way? That is, and that was the start of your doom. 2022, you dismantled everything. You just did not have a core. You just held on through some individual performances, which has happened again in 2023. Where is the core?
And then Williamson, 1 year captain. Bye bye.
Go on.
Bye bye.
Back to the auction pool, my friend. Again, with SRH, it's too many cases that you can
And
say that
again,
this-
when Warner wasn't there, Williamson captained them, took them to the final.
Yes.
So this is how you're going to treat two captains who almost gave you glory.
Yeah.
One who
luck.
gave you glory, one who almost gave you glory.
Good luck.
Mehraj Rule says SRH 185, Kohli, my man. I think he's talking about his prediction. He's just loving his mangoes.
Are they sweet?
Okay, ठीक है आदित्य, point taken. Move
Point
on.
taken. Yeah, move on in life.
AKH says Lara is not a coach. What he means to say is not a good coach, I'm guessing, right? He is to blame for bad choices. Maybe. But I read somewhere where Lara spoke about that this has also been a learning for him. First time coach. I think last time he wasn't in the coach's position.
No.
He was a mentor.
Mentor.
Or something. So right now he's hands-on coach. So it's been a learning for him as well. Remember, he's pre-T20 generation.
Yeah.
So may take time to get used to a lot of things. So yeah, but and in fact he himself said that the buck stops with me. So I'll take all the blame.
Okay.
So
New players and new
Ricky
coach.
Ponting also said that, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. So, Saurabh Mukherjee says, "What a robbery by the umpire! This is the lowest level of umpiring in the eternity of IPL. No wonder IPL doesn't have any credibility amongst neutral fans." Saurabh is saying, Saurabh, we've discussed the IPL umpiring at length. So I'm guessing your question came before that. Do check that out if you've just joined us live. Mehraj is a nice punchy line. Says, "Sorry, Mango, Chiku is the real king."
Chiku Bhaiya.
That's a nice one. Anand Shukla says,
I don't know who said that Virat Kohli plays for his runs, not the team.
That I've never agreed with.
Yeah.
I can't think that can be a criticism that holds true for Virat, that he plays for his run. I've never believed that. Yes, you can question his template of playing. Some can say, they can have different opinions. I agree with that. But when it comes to his fitness, his intent, and him playing and giving his best for his team, I've never had doubts about that. Shashank Bhatt is saying blaming the team and saying umpires supporting a team is nonsense, purely umpiring error, not expected. Harshit is not here.
Yeah.
I'll relay the message to him.
Oscar 2 IPL script writers.
So this is from the Oscars to the IPL scriptwriters. So
Ah.
he's saying that.
Karthik K from US, so they
Give
said.
Oscars to IPL.
Oh, that way, sure.
That way.
So much interpretation.
Yes, but he's going on to watching Nuggets versus Lakers. Is that
NBA.
on?
And it
Then-
would be, I don't follow the NBA, unfortunately.
Denver Nuggets versus Los Angeles Lakers.
Must be on. Sorry, we're not big on basketball at the moment. No. Nitish 1997 says great win for the RCB. Hope RCB win this year. I feel like that LSG will lose to KKR. Okay, Mumbai RCB and CSK will qualify. Rest waiting for Gargi to beat Shane.
RCB to beat KKR.
Okay,
Gargi
Nitish.
to beat.
Okay, wait for that. That's it.
That's it.
Can we take some live ones? No, we've not missed any super chat.
Have we?
Manchester Rising. No, I don't know what.
As Sonak Ghosh doesn't want me to pinpoint the fact that SRH did not put their best foot forward. Why would SRH help other teams? For them, they want to try new players for next season. But that's exactly what I said, Sonak, that this is wrong. It's not their job to help other teams, it's their job to put their best foot forward for every game.
For their fans.
Yes,
Fans.
that's what they're supposed to do, and you're trying other teams. That's why I said that there need to be a solution, and that solution, I mean, our job here is, unlike you, Sonak, I'm not a fan of any team. Okay, I will call a spade a spade. I praise Virat Kohli also and RCB too. And if there is an issue with SRH, I will point that out. I'm not going to be, mollycoddling one team and just praising. If that's the case, so be it. And I'm sure all of my colleagues do that. Siddharth does that quite often. Harshit did it today, pointing issues with, RCB. I pointed issues with SRH or whatever there is. We have to say things the way they are and not be always fans. More, can we go down, please? Ishan Sharma says India does it against Ireland. Do we complain? But Ishan, remember, those results don't impact anybody.
It's a bilateral.
Yeah, and even if it happens in a multinational tournament, you got to remember, in those cases, Ireland is not fighting to qualify for the semi-finals of ICC tournament. Completely different scenario. So that's that. Zimbabwe, sorry.
Zimbabwe beat Pakistan by 1 run.
Today? Yesterday. Okay. So what is the relevance of that?
Any team can make it, even Ireland can do it. I think that's what.
Yeah. That of course they can. But he's talking about scenarios at that point, comparing to the scenarios that we compared SRH to that.
Yeah.
That to India also lost to Bangladesh 2007. I was there. I saw that match and India were knocked out. Bangladesh beat Australia also soon after in an ODI match.
2005.
Early days of Bangalore. Upsets are a different thing. And today it wouldn't have been upset if Bangalore beat the best bowling attack of SRH. You would have still favored Bangalore to win. I'm not saying that.
And the beauty of the IPL is such that even if SRH beat RCB, it won't be an upset.
Yeah. Nothing really is.
Yeah.
Prashant Pai says Rohit under pressure to perform on individual basis now that Virat has scored. But why would Rohit be under pressure now that Virat has scored? Rohit needs to perform
Anyway. Yeah.
He's your captain.
And I don't think Rohit thinks like that. I'm sure Rohit is hungry for his team to do well and hungry for him to score runs. So I don't think. AKH Ak is saying if RCB lost LSG qualify, extra motivation for Virat Kohli.
I doubt. His motivation is getting that IPL trophy.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yep.
GGK says we talk about younger batters getting a chance, but is our pacers ready? Mavi sits out of the IPL, Umran is struggling, so where is replacement of Bhuvi Shami for World Cup 24? Only Arshdeep and Siraj. That's true.
And he's saying there's no bench. He's right.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
your bench is pretty much empty.
But I guess you never know. I mean, it's early days again, but I think you too keep saying, I think Mohsin got injured. It's good to see him come back. Maybe he could be the guy that you could really look at.
Mohsin would be really fast track because he didn't play any domestic cricket
No,
last year due to an
and
injury.
I'm reading about his injury. His arm could have been amputated. It was that bad. So it's happy that he's come back to just bowling. So that's the thing. But there are other pacers as well. So you'd have to look at. I think Prasidh Krishna also got injured at the wrong time.
Yeah.
That happened. Khalil now is making a decent comeback. He is there and thereabout.
Chahar as well.
Deepak Chahar also gets injured quite often, but is coming back. Then you look at, there are some young guys who are doing well. Deshpande has picked up a lot of wickets. I know he's been expensive, but picked up a lot of wickets. So I think they'll take time to mature, get better. So
At least 3 to 4 years for these guys
Yeah.
of hard toil. Don't even think about them for 2024.
Mavi actually is unfortunate in that regard because he made his international debut just before
6 years.
No, not the 6 years. He's made his international debut just before the World Cup. Remember?
Yeah.
Before the IPL, sorry.
After the World Cup in that Sri Lanka series.
Correct. He made his debut, and then you're thinking, oh, he got picked by GT. He'll get plenty of games there. Hardik's a big fan. Poor guy sat on the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Big problem. Very big
Anything
problem.
else? Sure, we call it a night, gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay. Take care, folks. Been a long night. We've been
Been a
with
good
you
night.
guys for 1 hour, I'm guessing.
Plus.
Plus 1
Yep.
hour. Oh, too much talking. If you joined us late, to check out all our debates about SRH not playing the best team, whether the right decision or not. The other big debate about that controversial no ball.
Yes.
Some of us panelists felt that the win is tainted, quote unquote. To check out what we make of Virat Kohli's current form this inning. What does it mean to his chances in Indian T20 team. That's something that we discussed. So plenty to check out if you joined us late. So do see that. We'll see you today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today.
In the next
Another big game.
18 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
RR versus PBKS. Their season ends
One is definitely going to
14.
Yeah.
going to end,
Yeah.
and one will then wait for other results.
Correct.
But I think for all practical purposes, you're seeing tomorrow both teams' season end because of RCB's win, and even
No,
if they
but
lose
see,
against GT,
if RR win, see that's something. If RR win, then they will be on same points and possibly better at net
Better
run
run
rate.
rate, yeah.
So they could still go through.
Also, GT
But
versus
PBKS not so much.
GT versus RCB is a rain threat.
yeah,
That is the problem.
and one team can spoil the entire body. That's Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mumbai versus SRH, that game.
And Mumbai are playing SRH. They'll make 5 more changes next match.
Yeah,
So they get
let's
to
do that.
16, but Saturday will be very important because Sunday anyway you got Saturday CSK DC,
CSK DC and LSG KKR.
LSG
Those are your two
KKR.
matches.
If they win that games, then you got 2 and 3 settled.
Today is Saturday. Oh no.
This Friday.
Just Friday. So RR PBKs, I don't think it's going to have a big impact. That's the
That's
way
it.
it is. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. See you then in the next
Good night.
19 hours. Bye bye. See you. Nandri.